Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Mac here, and I am busy putting the final touches on this bouquet of flowers that I handpicked for Blair because today is Mother's Day. Of course, it's Mother's Day if you're American, if you're from the United States. If you're British, you've already had Mother's Day. And that had me thinking, well, why is the same holiday different in both countries? I mean, Mother's Day is Mother's Day, and I know it's different in other countries too. But let's just focus on the US and the UK because the US kind of came from the UK, birthed out of the UK. So you would think Mother's Day would be the same, but it's not. Let's dig into it a little bit. In the United States, Mother's Day began with a woman named Anna Jarvis. Her mother, Ann Reeves Jarvis, was a community organizer who cared deeply for families in the local community and public health. And after her mother passed away, Anna Jarvis in 1905 wanted to make a way to honor her mother. And so she came up with the idea to honor all mothers and their sacrifices, thus birthing the American version of Mother's Day. So that birthed Mother's Day in the United States. The crazy thing is that by the end of her life, Anna Jarvis petitioned to make Mother's Day not be a holiday anymore because she felt as though the day had gotten away from what she originally intended and had become too commercialized. And if she thought it was too commercialized by the end of her life, she should see it now. It's all about buying flowers and gifts, but it's still at the root about celebrating mothers. And I've always celebrated Mother's Day. You start out as a kid selecting gifts for your mother, and the school helps you select things. The kids, the twins, they're in pre-K and they send home little things for Mother's Day. So it's something that you start celebrating early, giving honor to your mother. But the UK, their version of Mother's Day, although still honoring mothers, has a bit of a different origin. Mother Sunday in the United Kingdom has deep historical, even medieval religious roots and traditions. Dating back to the 16th century in Christian Europe, people were encouraged to return to their mother church, the church in which they were baptized on the fourth Sunday of Lent. This visit often turned into family gatherings, and over time it became customary for servants who worked away from home to be given the day off to visit their mothers. The term Mother Sunday came from a tradition rooted in ancient history, but it did over time take on a dual meaning of honoring one's mother as well as the church of one's religious birth. In the 1920s, a British woman by the name of Constance Smith advocated for a return to Mother's Day, to take the traditional religious holiday and blend it with the Americanized Mother's Day and create something more akin to what is celebrated today in both countries, the UK and the US, Mother's Day. During World War II, American troops in the UK celebrating their version of America's Mother's Day helped repopularize Mother's Day further in the United Kingdom. Going back to the earliest celebrations of Mother's Day in the United States and in the United Kingdom, flowers were an active part of it. Gifts of flowers were brought to mothers as small tokens or trinkets. So the flowers have been a part of the celebration at both locations for a long time. This is based off of Blair's favorite colors. She loves purple. I like the white and the yellow to kind of give a bit of color contrast. And I think she's going to like this quite a bit. Another big difference between Mother's Day in the US and the UK, well, is this. In the UK, it's all about the daffodil. This is a flower that is used traditionally and given as a gift to celebrate. This is a fragrant one. Triple-headed. This is all off of one plant, really beautiful one stem. In the US, it tends to be more roses of pink, white, yellow. And if you could get those are commercialized because they're not growing at this time of year in the US. But roses are more common and other bouquets of different flowers. This is a wildflower mix here from a lot of British grown flowers. You have delphinium in here and a couple others that are really, really nice. I don't think it matters as much, but that is a difference. Daffodils versus a more generalization of just a flower. So the biggest difference between Mother's Day in the United States and the United Kingdom today, well, is the date that is celebrated on. In the United States, it is always the second Sunday in May, whereas in the United Kingdom, it is the fourth Sunday of Lent, which shifts year over year. So whereas the US date is set on the calendar, the UK date can float. I have been known to celebrate both the UK version of Mother's Day and the US version, but this year I kind of forgot, and so I used the UK version as a reminder to lock it on my calendar so I can have it have it right for the US version, which is today. It doesn't really matter. It's all about honoring your mother. That's what's really important. As the mother figure, the person who takes care of you from that standpoint. That's really what you're focusing in on. We'll talk about Father's Day on a later day, but right now, today, it's all about the mothers. They always get a little more than fathers do anyway. Come on. Everyone knows Mother's Day is a bit larger than Father's Day. And does the UK even have a Father's Day? I haven't checked that out yet. Drop down in the comments and let me know. Father's Day is a holiday in the US and it is celebrated, but nothing is celebrated quite as heavily as Mother's Day. You can't get into a restaurant anywhere in the US today. They're all booked up. All the flowers are sold out. And if you didn't buy flowers earlier, you're going to pay an exorbitant amount of money if you try to purchase them the day of. So what is the day all about? It is about celebrating your mother, celebrating the parental love that was given to you, or the person that acted in that role for you, celebrating the love that they gave to you and giving those individuals their flowers while you still can. I sent flowers to my mother. They were delivered yesterday, and these are for Blair because Blair's done a wonderful job. We have 6 kids, and I have to kind of make sure I always continue to acknowledge her in that role and with the role she feels for the family here. All of us together, really held together by having Blair as the centerpiece of our little, well, not so little, our large family. I'm not the only one giving Blair a Mother's Day gift this year. The twins added their own special touch of color and paint. There's a nice little birdhouse. We call this one from, actually it says on the bottom, that's Mackenzie's, and here's Malachi's, and he added his little touches of paint on this other little birdhouse. We're gonna hang these inside the house, not outdoors. And Blakely put together this beautiful Lego set, which is the chrysanthemum. Beautiful coloration. This is the second one. We already had another one, so Blakely put this second one together, and this is something she wants to present to Blair for Mother's Day. And I like the fact of the Lego flower. I love the fact that Lego's doing the botanicals, but the Lego flower, pretty cool. It's gonna last a lot longer than these will. I picked these in bud, so some of these have just now, this poppy, it just bloomed this morning. Just came out this morning. Some of these others are just now opening up. There's a bit more to open up here. Some more on this delphinium is going to open up. There's alliums, they're blooming out. When I first put them in, they were half globes. So you see, it's not even full globe yet. So what you do when you're picking flowers and bouquets, if you're going to hand pick them, make sure that you're selecting them when it's still a little closed up, not all the way open, because if they're all the way open, they're going to fall off within a day or two. Still a bit closed up or still in bud, put them in water, and you will still have those blooms coming for you for several days, maybe even up to a week. As the blooms go over, you can edit. Take those out, leave those that haven't bloomed. Just keep taking them out as they go over, and that will allow you to have a bouquet of flowers that will hold for at least a week, maybe even a week and a half. So that creates a longer celebration. Whereas the daffodil right there, they're going to hold that flower for a long time anyways. Just make sure you keep enough water in the pot. From a traditional or linguistic standpoint, do the British call it more Mothering Day or Mother's Day? I've even heard the term Mother and Son's Day. I couldn't find as much information about that. So if you have some details about that and you're British, drop that down in a comment and let me know. Let us all know. My kids call Blair Mum, especially the twins. I'm noticing she's getting called more the British version, Mum versus Mom. I do hear Mom more from the older kids, but the twins are definitely Mum, which I think is pretty cool. Kind of funny. Mother's Day has become a bit commercialized. When I've sent the flowers to my mother this year, they cost over $100 to send. Every time I send a bouquet, whether I pick the larger, medium, or the smallest set, it's always going to cost at least $100. But it's for your mother, so you're going to spend the money. And they know that, and they kind of gouge you just a little bit on those flowers. But how can you celebrate the day without it doing something for your mother? I don't live in the US right now. I don't want to see my mom for a little while, so I had to do something. So I sent flowers. She called me and told me she really appreciated the flowers, and that made me happy. So you chalk up the money and just say, that's just how it goes. The restaurants, they run specials on Mother's Day, and they know they're going to be packed out. So I don't know if they increase those prices, but they're definitely going to be packed out. The commercialization of it, well, that's just the world in which we live in. Most things are commercialized from some standpoint. But at the end of the day, it's still all about celebrating your mother, celebrating the person who took care of you, raised you. If you're celebrating the British version connected to the religious side from the church, then you're celebrating the church in which you were baptized, and that's all important. These type of celebrations are really important to celebrate in your life. You should definitely pay attention to this date for your mother. And if you have a wife and you have children, then you should definitely pay attention to it for your wife as well, because she's their mother, even if she's not yours. I have been caught and been known to think about my mother and not consider the fact that Blair, who's not my mom, but she's my children's mom, and the kids are too young to do anything for her on their own, they don't always do gifts. So I have to pick up the slack and make sure until my kids are old enough that I'm honoring Blair on the really behalf of the children. And then also, as a father to Blair being a mother, I also want to make sure I'm doing it for her myself. So that's what you have to focus on. You don't focus on the commercial aspect of it. You have to accept there's going to be a commercialized aspect. You just take it, accept it, go with it. But keep the real thing and the main thing the main thing. The main thing is to celebrate love for family, celebrate the mother, to celebrate the religious aspect. That's the main aspect of it. All of our holidays are commercialized, but these traditions, the holidays, they kind of help set a rhythm for our life and a rhythm in which we can follow to kind of stay on pace. You're trumpeting from one standpoint to the other. You follow the turn of the seasons, and that kind of controls how you dress. You follow the turn of the holidays, and that controls what you do. And me as a parent with kids in school, I follow the flow of the school year. And this sets a rhythm, and it kind of helps you kind of keep a pace, keep the wheel rolling. You just have to make sure you don't forget those important days, birthdays, Mother's Day. And I'm going to trumpet and say Father's Day. I want more for Father's Day. Fathers, I think we should demand more. But being a father, you know how it is. We'll take what we can get. Hey, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to go give these flowers to Blair. And until next time, take care.